Rodrigo Esponda, the head of Los Cabos Tourism Board, and we're very happy to continue the webinar series that we have been working, presenting different things about Los Cabos. This occasion, we're going to be speaking about the Sea of Cortez, from the Sea of Cortez to your table. It's the name of this presentation, and we have a very special guest that I will introduce a little bit afterwards. I would like to take this opportunity to give you a very quick brief about the destination. As you know, we reopened on June 15 after the implementation of very strict protocols that all the businesses, the hotels, and every tourism service has to go through a certification process with the state authority. So we work across the board to really implement and train personnel to be able to have the highest level of service, as Los Cabos has always been a destination that is a reference to that. The maximum capacity that hotels can accommodate today is 30%. The same goes to all the tourism services, activities, transportation, golf, even we have implemented a protocol across every tourism services, including golf, meetings, weddings, and so on, the airport included. That has been really successful. We are working in different levels of certifications. The first one is a local certification, as I explained already, with the state authority, that all the businesses have to go to a process that they would be inspected, and once they pass that certification, they are able to reopen. Then we are also working towards a national certification that is called Punto Limpio. That is a national certification with 420 criteria that the businesses need to comply. There is an agreement that all the hotels would go through that process, and they already started. And then finally, we are also working towards some international certifications. The first one that we got is the Safe Travel Seal by the WTTC. And we're working towards other certifications because we want to provide the highest level of safety in terms of health and hygiene standards. We are working very hard to reestablish connectivity to the destination. And that's also very important because the only way to come to Los Cabos is by air. And our main market is the United States, with 80% of our share coming from mainly the points that are less than around 3 hours. There are 22 main cities that you can fly to Los Cabos nonstop in a range of 3 hours. We have established a strategic plan to reopen the destination by phases. As I mentioned, June 15, we started phase 1. Then we're going to be progressing towards the other phases. It's 30% maximum capacity, depending on different indicators that the health board is reviewing. We will be moving forward, but we expect that by the end of the year, we will have fully reopened all the hotels and all the services. We prefer to do stable and steady moving forward rather than rushing and having some situation. The number of cases of COVID-19 in the destination had been under control. That's thanks to the support that the community has been providing. For example, there are maximum capacity that the beaches can accommodate. And during the weekends, the community and the tourists have really been following the indicators of that capacity and what the authority is being proceeding. The next one. The destination has many advantages now in this new reality after COVID-19. It's a destination that has a lot of open spaces and a lot of activities that you can practice in the natural environment. We have, of course, the Sea of Cortez and the Pacific Ocean, the mountain range of Sierra de la Laguna, that is a natural reserve area, and also the desert range where you can do many unique things. So I'm sure that with all of those elements, we're going to be continued offering a unique experience for all our visitors. So moving forward, I would like to introduce our guests and then leaving you with somebody else. First, I would like to introduce Angel Carabajal, who has been here for more than 30 years in the destination. He's a true personality, and he's really committed with the community in the destination. As well, I would like to present Tracy. Thank you very much for participating.
Thank you for having us.
Edgar. They are going to be explaining exactly what they do, but they are true personalities in the destination, and I'm truly honored that you have accepted the opportunity to participate with us. Also we have with a link, Edgar Roman, who's the head of Vatel, and he brought the idea and he's supporting and committed with us in many things. He has a daily radio program. So when he walks around the street, everybody's rushing, asking him for an autograph. So we're very happy that you have accepted to participate with us, Edgar. How are you?
Hi, how are you, everyone? Thank you very much for this, Rodrigo. It's my honor to being here and represent Vatel, and of course have this chat with all these magnificent friends as like Angel, Tracy, and Marco.
Good to see you, Edgar.
Yeah, well, Edgar, why don't you explain us what is Vatel and some of the relevance that it has for the gastronomy and how Los Cabos plays a role there.
Okay, well, Vatel is the most important organization of chefs in Mexico and Latin America. As chefs, we're always involved in all aspects that enhance gastronomy as well as tourism. The participation of chefs actively and in all areas of tourism is increasingly important, carrying a transcendental weight in the current history of the tourist destination. And of course, Los Cabos is not the exception. In our destination, the relevance of gastronomy has reached the point of being one of the reasons why tourists come to Cabo. And of course, it will be unthinkable that a luxury yacht trip like the one that we're going to talk about it today, it was not accompanied by an incredible meal and of course, an incredible chef as Angel, for example. The link between sport fishing and local gastronomy is very important, since in the different variety of restaurants that we have in Los Cabos, the offer of preparations for tourists become a completely different experience in each place.
Good. Well, that's definitely very good, Edgar. Well, you already mentioned. And so speaking about the same things, why don't we start with you, Angel, that you've been here for many years and you also have a passion about the conservation and how sport fishing plays a crucial role for the species and for the sea.
Gracias, Rodrigo. Thank you, Rodrigo. Sorry. Well, Cabo has been defined by our locations. Then we have the paradise on bill fishing and other species, but that's the capital of this bill fish. We consider Cabo as unique in those aspects. Why? Because we try to preserve everything that is for us giving and experience to all the tourists that comes here. But we want to continue with that to have for everybody who comes here that experience who is unique. Even you catch a little fish, for a person who never been fishing and he got a little fish, is such a rush, such a enthusiasm, and for me it's unique. I can tell you that because I've been living here for more than 37 years and I love the ocean. My first introduction to the ocean, it was diving. I run a dive shop many years ago and I became a chef for this. Everything it moved forward and I came to that without having a lesson or a cooking class. So I'm considering myself in those aspects, like taking what you have in front of you and not manipulate anything of that, which is the unique on flavors for any species. Texture and flavors are unique. So fish, when you get a fish, it's gonna have texture and flavor their own. You don't have to add anything. When you give the treat, it needs to be done for it. You slice it and you can taste that piece of fish, which gives you unique and different aspects. You can taste it with sauces, and that's different. But moving forward, what we're doing, the experience of on a boat and yacht, and we have this week with Marcos and Tracy. It was experience that maybe for some of them it wasn't already, because simple ceviche is Now the way you do it is how the way you mix the ingredients. It's not only prepare and serve, right? So every step you do, it helps to have unique character on the fish. As you can see in the video, all the ingredients, you dice it in different sizes. You marinate it, very simple. Just lime juice, put it back in the refrigerator. Your vegetables are separate. When you're ready to mix, you mix it all. So it doesn't drain the juices of the hydration when you add salt, because that's what happens when you add salt on a fish, on the vegetables, it drains. So it gets dehydrated. So as you can see in the video, when you mix the ingredients, the last thing you want to put on the ceviche is the salt and the pepper with a little bit of olive oil, which gives you the texture of the fish, and the salt is right there. Otherwise, it will be under. Mm-hmm. Okay, so when it gets to your table, you have to add salt because it doesn't have that power, right? So going back to that, when you are in the old years, you can bring. I mean, you used to bring the cash to the restaurants. I wasn't there yet. That was in the 80s when I came here, and I lived that experience with a friend when fishing. Take that fish to a restaurant, and they prepare different ways. Well, in Nixon, you bring your fish, and you're gonna see what we can do with it. In a different presentations, it will taste different. Even if it's the same fish, it's gonna taste different in every dish we prepare. So that will be a surprise for you when you bring your fish to Nixon. So Tracy, you can tell us more about that and about the yachts.
Yeah, please, Tracy.
Yeah, so I love fishing, but I also love luxury. And when you think fishing, you might think, hey, we're in the blazing sun all day like this on a boat. So I love to eat the fish, I love to catch the fish, but I do like luxury too. So now there's this option available in Los Cabos where you can get your wife or girlfriend to come along, you can get the whole family to come along, because when you step aboard, you'll be greeted with a glass of ice cold champagne or ice cold beer or margarita. You can sit upstairs in the shade. I'm very white, so I like the shade. We have incredible service, chef on board, and at the same time, my husband Marco was able to catch a fish and Anka was able to prepare it. So, hey, I felt like a queen. We had everything we could possibly want. We had luxury, we had fish, we had incredible food, and a great chef on board. So the way of thinking about fishing, I think, has changed, because if you offer fishing as an option to many people, they think that's not on my list. Mm-hmm. So I'm asking that people reconsider and think about this, because not only did we catch a fish, we saw manta rays, we saw dolphins. It was a whole experience wrapped in one day. So for the hardcore fisherman who wants to strictly go fishing and be traveling fast constantly, we have some incredibly high-end Viking sports fishers that are 2021 coming in this year. Mm-hmm. So for the very best, the most discriminating fisherman and angler, we have that option at Pisces Sports Fishing. And I'd just like to say that's available nowhere else in the world. There's nowhere else in the world that you can go and charter a boat of that caliber. And then we have the yacht option, which we can do this for a week, where we take along toys and we have paddle boards and we have kayaks and we have underwater sea bobs that pull you along. And you can do the whole experience for a week and please everybody in the family. And of course, the most beautiful thing about the yacht and being on the yacht, you're in your own world. I cannot even put into words the first time we did a liveaboard trip on the Sea of Cortez on one of our yachts. And you leave shore and it's like you leave all the problems behind, the stress rolls off your shoulders, mm-hmm. and you connect in such a special way with nature and with your family. So that's what I love the best about being on the yacht. It's taking your private luxury with you and you choose your destination.
So you tailor-made the experiences depending
Absolutely.
on what the client wants. And
yes.
What type of amenities? You mentioned a little bit about the chef that you have on board. So you don't have you have an itinerary that you adjust depending on what the client is looking to?
Yes, we have suggested itineraries because it's a new area for a lot of people, but we can do everything from overnight trips out of Cabo San Lucas for fishing and spending the night in a bay. We have custom itineraries up into the Sea of Cortez. People may not be aware of this, but we have over 900 islands and islets in the Sea of Cortez. And the ocean here, I mean, you have the option, where we're geographically located, we have the Sea of Cortez and the Pacific Ocean. So for fishing, we have a lot of options. It's very nutrient rich, the water here, because there's an upwelling of currents. And this is why it attracts so many fish. And we have exceptionally deep water. So this is another one of the positive things about Cabo San Lucas and Los Cabos. You can catch fish very close to shore, because people have a conception perhaps that you have to go miles and miles away. You can leave port in Cabo and you can be catching a fish less than 10 minutes later.
Wow.
But the itineraries, yes, we can adapt them. We have everything from an 80-foot motor yacht or a 50-foot motor yacht all the way up to 120 feet with like a jacuzzi on the upper deck, 5 staterooms, every toy imaginable, including extra boats that go along with you, like center console fishing boats. So then the big yacht becomes the platform from which you take your different toys, paddleboards, kayaks, wave runners, or a dedicated fishing boat, but the whole group travels together, and it's your own kingdom, I would say, on the sea.
So that can accommodate small groups or more larger groups?
Yes.
From a family of
Starting
5?
from a family of 2 all the way up on one of our bigger yachts, we could actually accommodate up to 15 people.
Oh, okay. Well, that's definitely...
Yes. For overnight trips, and for day trips, we can do more.
That's definitely a very good option for anybody, especially now that people are looking to have some individual experiences in the tight group that would contain in open nature.
This is perfect. This is the perfect idea for people that don't want to be in crowds, that don't want to feel like a tourist per se, that wants that incredible feeling of nature. I mean, when we go with our family, we feel like it's the last frontier, because we'll pull up to a cove. There will not be another human being in sight. And you get off and explore an island or snorkel and see incredible fish. Some of the fish we catch and we eat them. But we're very much careful of eating only responsibly caught fish and those that are sustainably viable.
Okay.
So for many, many years, we've been doing catch and release at our fleet. We take out about 15,000 people a year fishing. Billfish, which are marlin, the ones with the long nose, sailfish, swordfish, are considered more of a sports fish. So it's rare these days that they're killed or even brought into the boat. If you do catch one of those, in very, very high odds, most people are going to tag it. We tag it with a scientific tag. And we keep that data and we share that with scientists. And with this, that gives us knowledge so that we can plan our fisheries responsibly here. But if you catch a dorado, a wahoo, a yellowfin tuna, a sierra, a red snapper, all of these are outstanding eating fish. What we would do is we bring them on board. They will either be filleted back at land or aboard the boat. And then we deliver them to either Nixon or other restaurants in town. And the clients can get to try fish the way they've never tasted it before. So many times children come, even to my home, and they say, we don't eat fish. Okay, I'll prepare fish. Put it out. I say, how was your lunch? Delicious. You just ate fish. That wasn't fish. Why? Because it's so fresh. A really fresh fish has no fishy taste. So I would encourage people that say, oh, I don't like fish, and I don't know who wouldn't want fish or like it, to try our fish here, because there's so many textures. Some of the textures like wahoo or yellowfin tuna, it's a very meaty kind of fish. You know, you can slice it like a loaf of bread. No bones. You just slice it like a loaf of bread. And then you have the bonier fish like the red snapper or the dorado, which is a very, very moist fish. And if I'm having people over to dinner, my go-to dish is always fish, because it's easy and it's delicious and it's fresh and it spotlights what we're famous for here, which is the fish.
Well, just before coming live to this webinar, you were explaining, both of you, Mark as well, about the relevance of the Sea of Cortez and the relevance that sport fishing plays in the conservation. And that's something that you both are very passionate. You support different foundations and different organizations that are looking to preserve the species, and that's where you are doing a lot of efforts, isn't it?
Exactly, that's what we're doing here, trying to preserve, do the preservation. And every restaurant, every hotel is with us in that concept. The more we take care of our fish here, is the more people is gonna enjoy coming here and have that experience. Like Tracy say, catch and release. We do a lot of catch and release, dorado, marlin, A lot of species, even tuna, sometimes when you get a small tuna, you just bring it out, take a picture, look at it, and let it go. It's like, it's incredible when you have that in your hands and you just pop it and put it back in the water. Sometimes we do amazing videos, and some days you will see online, but it's like, even the morning you come, take the hook off. Sometimes it's a little dangerous because they shake too much, but it's so, it feels so good to get that fish and put it back in the water.
Yeah.
That's for us, and for everybody who's been doing this for years. It's incredible. So Cabo has that all here together with more different concepts. Like we have the best restaurants, and this is small, not town, but a small city. So we can compete with anybody in the world because we are chefs here, then we up in the same level. Even we don't have Michelin stars, but we feel like we do. People who comes here is
hey,
like,
I would give you a Michelin star, Uncle. Don't worry about it.
But people who comes here, wow, I never tried this in my life, and I travel all over the world.
This is true.
That's the expression they have, and that gives you a satisfaction. That like it keeps you going, keeps you creating things, play with what you have around, and Sea of Cortez and the grounds around it. We have farms. We have everything to play with.
We do.
So right now, in Cabo San Lucas, we have a lot of great restaurants, great chefs, and we welcome everybody here to have the experience.
Definitely.
The greatest fishing.
And you were mentioning about different species that you can find and how you deal with them differently. But how do you do if you find a species that are endemic, that and in danger, and you treat them differently?
Well, it's everybody's responsibility. Our company, Pisces, we are very, very responsible. Going back to the 70s, the 80s, we would kill a lot of fish, I'll be honest. We'd kill a ton of fish. I have pictures of us on the dock. Marco will back me up on this. We'll have 10 marlin.
Amen.
But we realized fishing is what this town is built on. I can say that fishing has given our family everything we have. It's put my kids through college, it's paid for our home, it's allowed us to expand, and the same thing goes to the town. So our captains and mates, most of whom have been with us for over 20 years, are now also on board, and they don't like to kill things like marlin because they know that's the future of this destination. And in fact, we are an example worldwide for our catch and release program. People come from other countries to see what we're doing right here. We're doing a lot right. But if, for example, like Uncle said, you get an undersized fish, like if we get a dorado and she's tiny, we're gonna let it go. If we get a female, we're gonna know that she's full of eggs, a certain size female, we're gonna let her go. And we're gonna keep within the quotas of allowed take, So just take enough for what you want to eat. A lot of anglers still love to take their fish home, and that's great too. We'll fillet it for them, we'll freeze it, we'll package it for them, we'll make it easy. But we do prefer that people release the marlin because they're such a beautiful animal. Who needs 100-pound of frozen fillets of second-rate fish? There's no point. And what we found now is the anglers love participating in the catch and release. What we're doing is we are associated with something called gray fish tag. So we have these tags, and we let the anglers place them themselves. It's kind of the first time you do it, you probably go overboard. You have like a spear, and they bring the fish on alongside, it lights up with color. You see this huge blue eye on the marlin, and it's looking at you. And you're thinking, he's like him, what's the deal? Is it this or is it this? But he doesn't know it's going to be this yet, so they're like freak out a little bit. So we bring the fish alongside. The deckhand knows how to handle the fish. They'll put their thumbs like this on the bill so the fish can't struggle too much. And then we'll have the angler lean over. We'll hold them by the legs so they don't go in the water. And they just place the tag just here in the shoulder, like this. And then it's the biggest thrill. You should see the looks on their faces. They get to name their fish.
Oh, you name the fish.
They name the fish, and it goes into a database. And when if the fish is recaptured, they'll contact the angler and say, hey, by the way, here's a certificate. Thank you for releasing this fish. He was caught 200 miles from here by such and such a person. And we partnered with Costa Sunglasses, and they give the person a free pair of Costa sunglasses. One thing I would like to mention, which I thought was amazing, maybe a little off topic, but we tagged a striped marlin here in September 11th of 2019, and he was recaptured on March 5th at Cocos Island, Costa Rica.
Really?
Yes.
All
the
of
way
that
down to
information is live
Yeah.
on our on the website,
Okay.
so we can share that with you later, and,
So-
and you can see all the how they moved around, where they went, the distances, the time.
Yeah.
We also do some satellite tags, no, Tracy?
Yeah, satellite tag, which gives you real-time information. And we're learning because we need the knowledge to be able to preserve this incredible fishery and sea life that we have here. But we're passionate about taking care of the sea, the fish. Our fishermen are on board with us, you know, and it's about educating people before they even get on board.
We had a young man that had come with his grandfather and father to fish, and now he's bringing his son, and he tagged fish and named them after the grandfather and the father. And, you know, and they did it with his little kids, so it's like three generations. And this, you know, that's part of this adventure, right? To
So like,
create the memories.
all of us, you know, we're here long term. We're committed to the destination. This is our life, and we love it. Why? Because we've traveled. We know once you've lived in Cabo San Lucas or been here, you're not going to live anywhere else because there's nowhere else like it in the world.
Exactly. There's nobody else. And there are some sport fishing tournaments that you actively participate in that they play a crucial role also in preservation, isn't it?
What was the?
Sport fishing tournaments?
Yes, we have a lot. We have the Bisbees, which is a very famous tournament. It's called the biggest fishing derby in the world. We also have the tuna tournament, which is in November. That's actually the busiest tournament last year. I think we had about 140 boats participate in that. And that's about having fun. Anybody can do it. It's fun. It's not expensive to get into, and gets a lot of people together. A lot of fish are caught.
The weather.
The weather is the best thing. We forgot to mention the weather. Nowhere else in the world do we have this weather.
Yeah, weather is a critical role. Well, this has been really good. We have been sharing some images of the dishes that Angel prepares at Nixon, and that you can find because of the type and the quality of the fish that we have in the Sea of Cortez. You know, I don't know if you would like to share the final message regarding sport fishing, Sea of Cortez, or what you do, and then we will close it.
Marco.
Mr. Marco.
Well, none of them mentioned that I was the one that caught the fish on the boat. So the adventure of catching the fish and enjoying it. I had my grandson catch his first marlin. He's 4 years old, and we let it go.
From the same boat.
And so we're planting the seed on the next generation, you know. And there I am catching what later was prepared incredibly by Angel at Nixon, a beautiful yellowfin tuna that we had for lunch with him. And the message is, you know, we're a lifestyle destination. We're a luxury brand destination. If you want luxury and adventure, you know, in touch with nature, I think this is the easiest place for you to bring your clients and your friends. The processes are real easy. Everything is smooth. Everything is seamless. Everything is prepared and curated exactly the way that the client wants, with our recommendations, obviously. But you know, that's when we're catching the tuna, and that's the best feeling in the world when we're only about 2 miles from shore. So that doesn't happen in many places in the world. They got to go 200 miles out. But anyways, my message is, you know, come and enjoy this beautiful Sea of Cortez. The Sea of Cortez is from the Sea of Cortez to your table. That's what we did, you know. We have farm to table, and we have from the sea to your table, you know. The two elements that connect this beautiful peninsula and the Gulf of Cortez, you know, the Sea of Cortez. But we're waiting for you. We want you to be here, bring your clients, enjoy, and we'll show you how it's done.
Good.
Message. Oh,
Tracy.
come on down. We're waiting. We got great weather, great spaces, great beaches, great water. We'd love to see you here, and we'll take incredible care of you. So please Don't feel shy. Please be confident in bringing your clients and recommending people to come to Los Cabos. We have a great team of locals here and, of course, our fantastic tourism board to answer any of your questions. So please contact us. We'll be happy to take care of you.
What is your website for more information?
www.Pisces, Pisces, Group Cabo.
Good.
.com.
Angel?
.com.
I want to thank you, Edgar. I want to thank you for this
Yes.
this program, and please, you have the word.
Well, thank you very much, Angel. It's actually our pleasure as a chefs, as a community of chefs, being part of this project with the Board of Tourism from Los Cabos, because we think the most important thing, or one of the most important things, just as the sport fishing and the golf and all the amenities that we can offer in Los Cabos, is, of course, the variety of the different kinds of food and nationalities of chefs that we are working here in Los Cabos. So you can experience tons of different flavors, between Mexican flavors, European chefs doing Mexican food, with these local ingredients, or Mexicans doing, foreign techniques, just like Angel do, with all the Asian, styles and techniques to make an amazing experience for everyone, right? So all the chefs that we are involved in the destination, we can offer you an unforgettable experience for everyone. So thank you very much, everyone, for being here and for being part of this first webinar introducing the sports fishing, the luxury lifestyle from Los Cabos, showing to the world. And thank you very much. We're waiting for you guys, so please come down to Cabo.
Good.
I would like to invite everyone to come to Los Cabos and live the experience. We are here to exceed your expectations. That's our slogan, and that's what we do. So please come and have fun in Los Cabos.
You have also a website, isn't it?
Yes. www.nixon.com.
Nixon.com. Okay, because then we receive a lot of questions about where can agents find more information about the services that we do. So, well, I would like to thank Edgar for coming up with this beautiful idea. We're going to be doing different series of webinars with Vatel and with Edgar. So thank you very much. Angel, Tracy, Marco, thank you very much for participating. On behalf of Los Cabos Tourism Board, we would like to thank all of you who have been seeing the webinar. And if you need any question or you have any more information that you would like to know about Los Cabos, please visit our website, visit loscabos.travel. Muchas gracias.
Adiós.